and welcome to Leeds Hacks News. I'm Gwynnera Parry. Top stories today. Student murdered after night out in Leeds city centre, drivers on strike in protest over bus service changes, and wildlife under threat as felled trees make way for new homes. But first, a backpacking couple from Leeds have described what it was like to be in Nepal during the earthquake on Saturday. More than 3,600 people are known to have died in the quake that measured 7.8 on the Richter scale. Kathmandu has been worst affected. The international aid effort from Nepal is gathering pace, with China, India, Pakistan and Britain amongst the countries contributing to the effort alongside major aid agencies. Laura Johnson and Liam Sullivan were enjoying a month-long holiday travelling around India. They told Leeds Hacks TV that they were in a lodge in the mountains when it happened. They said all of a sudden there was a repetitive loud bang and everyone froze and the whole building began to rock. The earthquake lasted 2 minutes. A student from Leeds University has died from serious head injuries after an assault in the early hours of Saturday morning. The victim has been named today as Billy Jacob Mankalo and was attacked near Leeds train station. A 31-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of murder. Holly Hill reports.
Here are some of the tributes left at the scene where a 20-year-old man was murdered on Friday night. Billy Jacob Mankalo was found in the early hours of Saturday morning, not far from Leeds City train station. It was here where the victim was found on the early hours of Saturday morning. He was treated for serious head injuries at Leeds General Infirmary, where he later died. A 31-year-old man has been arrested on connection to the murder. Billy, who was originally from Kent, lived in the Hyde Park area and worked at the popular student restaurant The Joint. They released a statement today, commenting on how it's impossible to comprehend why someone would choose to murder such a kind-hearted and genuinely decent human being. I went to see what the reaction on the street was.
Disturbing that somebody should be killed so near to the city centre.
And it shouldn't happen. That really shouldn't happen.
Hey, I think it's a really, really horrible thing to happen for a bloke. Thoughts and prayers with the family.
Police are appealing for any information in connection to the incident. Holly Hill, reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
It's been nearly 2 months since an 18-year-old girl was raped in a bus stop in Beeston, but still police haven't been able to track down the attacker. BBC Crimewatch reconstructed the horrific ordeal in the hope of finding the man. The reconstruction included CCTV footage of the assault and shows how the attacker was following 2 other women previously that night. Since the broadcast, there have been more than 70 calls made to the Crimewatch studio, with more expected. Bus drivers in Bradford have gone on strike this morning to protest against planned changes to services. First buses are moving the depot to Halifax and changing drivers' contracts. Today there were no buses from Bradford to Leeds and the strike is expected to continue throughout tomorrow. Nasser Adris has the details.
The proposed bus driver strike at Bradford bus station has gone ahead.
Over 380 first staff members walked out at 1:30 this morning, leading to dozens of services coming to a halt, with many of them being school runs. The strike is expected to last 48 hours.
Muhammad Taj is Unite's branch secretary for First Bradford. He explains why they're on strike.
All the bus drivers in Bradford are members of United Union. We've been in negotiation with the company for the last 5 months where they have been breaching every agreement, they've not been following procedures, and basically it's led to loss of 8 jobs. We want to protect this depot, we want to protect the jobs we have, because Bradford is desperate for jobs here, because we've got 70% reduced employment, people are there to qualify. Why are they not recruiting people? Why we have to rely on overtime for the buses to run? So this is what the dispute is. We're fighting for the buses to be protected so we can serve the public.
The bus drivers union have said the transfer of part of the 576 bus route has cost 8 jobs. We spoke to First's PR manager to clarify the allegations.
So I'd like to reiterate there haven't been any job losses. Some of the allegations about don't open and closing are untrue. Bradford is an important part of our network infrastructure. In fact, over the next few months and years, we expect Bradford to grow as a city, continue growing.
The strike only affects first buses at this Bradford depot. All other services are running as normal. I'm Nasser Adris reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
Residents say wildlife could be at risk as developers chop down trees on a former Leeds Girls High School site during nesting season. Community groups fear valuable habitats being destroyed to make way for new houses. Dan Golder reports.
This is the site of former high school, Leeds Girls High. Residents in the area are concerned for local wildlife as the felling of the trees on the site is taking place during resting season. Approved by the council last year following a battle by campaigners. Sue Buckle is from the Henley Community Association.
They're doing it now, just in the middle of nesting season, and they've had, months. They could have done this back in the winter. They could have waited till later. The council claims, in good faith, I think, that everything's been done to try to safeguard the wildlife. But there's no way that in the middle of April, sawing and chopping and chipping from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. 5 days a week is not going to disturb the wildlife.
RSPB member Marion Charlton believes that the issue is more than just a short-term problem.
The point is the tree is a life cycle of nutrition for all the animals, little animals, insects, etc., that the birds feed off. So we're looking at a life cycle really, a cycle in which nature can flourish, or a life cycle in which nature can't flourish. So by killing off the trees without thought to the future of the birds and the birds' nutritional needs, let alone their nesting needs, then we're actually building up trouble.
Despite concerns, Mark Wilder of Stonebridge Homes Limited argues that there is nothing to worry about. In a statement, he said,
"We are aware of the nesting season and we are being vigilant as a result. Our on-site arborist is checking the trees before they are felled, looking for active nests or any signs of nests currently being constructed. If there is any, we will not fell that tree and instead we'll move on."
How much damage is actually being done is up for some dispute. However, it would appear clear that amongst campaigners and citizens alike, the work here is not popular. I'm Dan Golder, and this is Leeds Hacks News.
It's just 10 days to go until the general election. As the campaign hots up, many of the main parties' policies are being criticised. But a local campaign group is hosting an alternative debate on Wednesday to discuss issues that haven't been addressed. James Keithley speaks to the people of Leeds.
With the general election only 10 days away, many of the main parties' policies are being debated.
This Wednesday, local campaign group Leeds for Change is to hold an alternative debate which will raise 10 issues they feel don't get enough coverage. I took to the streets of Leeds to ask the public about the issues that are important to them and that politicians aren't discussing.
Keep going on about the economy and how terrible the SNP are going to be, even though they went for the keeping the union. Labour are going for the health, national health. The Liberal Democrats are telling everybody how everything's much better because they were part of the government. It's rubbish. All the little parties are talking about stuff.
It's just national, more or less now. I think that all they're trying to do is the batting their own rights to get come on to get in. They're not talking as much about how they're going to do things. It's just we'll do this, or else we're going to get in whatever.
Yeah, I think young people seem to be getting more well represented. I mean, I went to one of the debates, like with Newsday, so I think they're doing more to engage young people. Talk about them.
I think the economic debates to reductionists is just about deficit reduction all the time and not enough discussion of the wider sort of macroeconomic picture of how the country's economy is structured actually. I think that it's becomes far too simplified.
I'm a great admirer of Nicola Sturgeon. And she's like, to me, she's like a leftist Thatcher. She is strong and she makes a point. That's why the Scots love her. And there's no point in 6 months ago, all the major parties were rushing to Scotland to persuade the Scots to vote against the yes vote.
I've got a particular interest in disability, and I'm not aware that I asked someone the other day what their policy on disability was, and they certainly didn't know. That seems to be a current theme. And carers too. answered, offered us a couple of £100 or something. I love this country.
Yeah.
I love the fact that people can debate, but I hate this scaremongering.
The people of Leeds have had their say, but now the clocks are ticking and it's time for the electorate to make up their minds. I'm James Keithley, reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
And be sure to tune in next Thursday on election night, as we will be bringing you live coverage throughout. Deadlines are looming and stress levels are running high for students in Leeds as the term comes to an end. A campaign called StressLess Fest is running for the next 2 weeks to help students relax. From free fruit to back and shoulder massages, these are just some of the ways to help students chill out. Cara Spose went to find out more.
Whether you're studying for your GCSEs, A-levels or your degree, it can be a stressful time of year. Luckily, students here at Leeds Beckett University are having some stress-free activities as part of the StressLess Fest. Some of the activities happening across the fortnight are Pilates, head and shoulder massage and free healthy snacks available from the library. Headingley Cereal Cafe Mood also made an appearance, ensuring that students start the day with a good breakfast. Up in the library, students are working hard and have been trying to be stress-free.
So, try and make sort of deadlines for daily deadlines and weekly deadlines to do all my work in time.
I like to either go to the pub with my friends or ring home, talk to my dad and my mum because they usually help me if I'm really stressed out.
During deadline season, I make sure that I get an early night so that then I can get up early and do the work because I'm more productive in the morning.
Along with activities, the university is also offering helpful tips and advice on how to stay calm.
Well, stress isn't an illness itself, but it can lead to stress-related illnesses like anxiety and depression. For some people that might give them physical symptoms, or it might be that they can't sleep properly, or they're unable to eat, or they just worry all the time. I think it's about having a balanced approach. So you can see the students behind us was playing football. Sometimes that's a good distraction, getting away from studying, taking time to turn the brain off and just think about something else. It might be socialising with friends or going out, doing something other than the studying.
So here's hoping you students can stress less during this busy period. I'm Cara Spose, reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
Oh, sorry.
And now for the weather. Tonight there will be highs around 9 degrees and a chance of rain overnight. Tomorrow will remain cool with sunny spells. That's all from us at Leeds Hacks News. Thank you and good night.